There's more to imagine when you listen. So let your imagination soar with Audible. Audible has audio titles from every genre that will inspire you to imagine new worlds, possibilities, and ways of thinking. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. Enjoy an exciting reawakening of a beloved classic with the Audible original, David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Produced by Academy Award-winning director Sam Mendes. Starring Ncuti Gatwa, Helena Bonham Carter, and Theo James. This adaptation breathes new life into a familiar tale. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500.
Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales. And we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/trial and get started.
Welcome to How to Survive, the show that teaches you how to survive the stuff that can kill you.
Like geomagnetic storms, or poisonous mushrooms, or trains.
And the stuff that just makes you wish you were dead.
Like slow talkers, or too honest children, or being kicked out of your home. That sucks.
I would not like that.
I would not like that either.
What I would like...
Our theme song?
Yes.
Yay!
I like that it just went off into a little whisper.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. Ooh, how to survive. Ooh, how to survive.
Push the button.
Push it, push it.
Are we pushing your buttons yet, Danielle?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, well, we'll try to.
Thanks.
Welcome to the show.
Welcomes. How was your Mother's Day? Did you get to weed?
You know
whatever it was you wanted to do?
I was doing so much yard work on Mother's Day.
Awesome.
I was happy
That's
as
what
can
you
be.
wanted to do. Do you put in earbuds? Do you listen to a podcast or music, or you're just doing it?
I was listening to music. I was singing so loud to George Michael in my
Love
backyard that I think my neighbors were horrified. Or maybe they were happy because they
Awesome.
also like George Michael. I have no way of knowing.
Were you singing I Want Your Sex? Or
I was singing Faith, Freedom,
Freedom 90.
both of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was anyone helping you, or was it just...
In the beginning, I did get some help. We all as a family went to the nursery.
Yes.
Can I tell you about this guy at the nursery?
Yeah.
Okay, so we went to this native plant nursery. I wanted my whole idea is at someday my house is going to be all native California plants, right?
Okay.
The yard. It's going to require a lot of ivy being ripped out. But I'm not close to that yet. You've seen my house.
It's all ivy.
It's all ivy. So I have a couple areas I wanted to plant some native plants. So we go to this beautiful little nursery tucked into the Arroyo Seco. And it's all volunteers that work there.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool, right?
Okay.
They're like, we love California. We love native plants. Our mission is to make more beauty in California. And
Okay.
how we like to do that as volunteer. So I say, hey, I don't really know what I'm doing. Can you guys help me figure out like what to plant in this area and what to plant in this area? This area's got a lot of sun. This area is pretty shady.
Right.
So the guy says, "Here, why don't we have, Kenneth take you around and talk to you about which plants might work." I took a couple pictures.
Okay.
So I could show them what I meant.
Smart.
Well, Kenneth was going to show me every plant.
Oh, no, Kenneth.
And Kenneth was a very low talker.
Oh, no.
And a very slow talker. He was very kind.
Yeah.
And, an older gentleman, like, say if my dad ever left his house.
Right.
And my dad's not really a low talker, slow talker, but like I kind of would say like, oh, I could see my dad. It's like someone like my dad. So I was trying to give so much like
trying to humor him a little.
Love and compassion towards this man who it seems like maybe this wasn't an easy thing for him.
Okay.
And he had a lot of knowledge.
Right.
He was packed with it.
Well, you don't volunteer at the native nursery unless you've got a lot of knowledge.
Boy,
about
did he
this.
have it. But it was such a test of patience, guys.
And you like plants.
I do. I'm interested.
If it were me, I would have thrown myself on the nearest cactus.
I
Just
mean,
let it puncture my eyeballs out.
It was really hard for me not to do that. Because
Still be able to hear.
he was like,
No, I'd roll around so the needles go in my ears also.
oh, that's hard to imagine. Did you guys? You might not have seen this because Oliver's older. Zootopia, the sloths.
Yes,
at the DMV.
he actually saw it, but I did not.
Okay, but you maybe
I know.
that,
I've seen that scene.
The
Yes.
scene is
it's an iconic scene. Yes,
it's funny.
Yeah.
And I wish it would have been funny like that. But he was like, this elderberry bush is great because you can eat the flowers and the seeds.
Oh my God.
But you have to be careful because you could do like a wine or a jam. But you don't want to put the fruits, the seeds. The fruits have the seeds in like a smoothie. They could get ground up and then you can get very sick. You can plant this in partial shade.
I'm getting so anxious right now.
I know.
It's just creeping
Full
up.
shade. Like,
He needs a job on NPR.
and I was like, okay, great. So what about for this? And I would try to sort of interject and be like, yeah, it'd be great if you could just show me for this area. But it was like, then he'd go, next,
No.
we have the lupin. And I was like, oh, he's touring me the entire nursery. And the kids
They're gone at this point, right?
they got in the car and started honking the horn.
No. Are you serious? That's where was Sven?
He was with me, but then he just kept walking off and like sort of like giving me the eye, like, how do you get
out of this?
And so
Well, that's on him, by the way. If he disengaged, it's up to him to pull you away.
I kept looking at Sven like, save me.
Right.
And I realized I'm on my own here.
That's not acceptable.
You're on your own, kid.
But you can't leave,
as Taylor Swift says.
You can't leave empty-handed.
Well, no, I did. I would be like, okay, I'm going to take this. Like I finally just started. I kind of had to just, lasso the situation. And
Oh my God.
Just grab the most poisonous plant in the thing just to get out of there. Ma'am, you don't
So
want
this is
that
good
one.
for smoothies, right?
But I got nice stuff.
Good.
My kids both got me a bouquet of flowers
Oh, sweet.
and gift cards for a bookstore, and Benji got me a George Harrison album.
Wow.
That Sven made them do all that.
Yeah.
But the George Harrison album was Benji's idea that he gave to me after he really hurt my feelings.
Uh-oh. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'll say it. I mean, you got to say the good and the bad, right?
Yeah.
You guys don't want to think my kids are perfect, do you?
Because right now I do.
So this was the night before Mother's Day, and we were having dinner, and Benji, sorry, you can cut this. I don't know why this came up, but it was something about who do you look like more, and Benji goes, well, I'm pretty sure I look more like Dad because Mom's face is covered with wrinkles. He thought that was funny.
That's so hurtful.
And I felt like just deflated at the table.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's his way. I mean, I don't think he's trying to be mean. I think he thinks he's making a joke and it's going to be funny. Like his idea of being funny is making jokes about me being old. And I'm like, that isn't funny.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
It's hurtful.
Right.
I don't make jokes about you being short. But you are, dude. He's actually average height for his age. But
is that what he said back when you said that?
If I would have said.
I'm actually average height for my age.
And I mean, yeah. So then he was like, I'm really sorry, Mom. But I was just like, I didn't even say like, that's okay.
Yeah.
I was just too mad.
Good.
Or hurt, actually. I don't even know if I was angry. I was hurt.
Yeah,
and so
I understand
then
that.
he like ran out to the car and got the album and gave it to me early, trying to make up. And I was like, oh, thanks. But I was still like upset.
No, I get that. Well, I went to the Old People's Old Film Festival.
Tell us everything.
There's not that much to tell. It was fun. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough sleep, so the very last film on Sunday morning, I kept nodding off during. So that
morning too, like morning is
11 o'clock.
Yeah,
no, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
Well, I guess it is seniors
because it's a festival.
So, yeah, they're up at 5.
Yeah. So, but
any movies that you loved?
There was one called No Man of Her Own.
Ooh, who's the woman?
That was your girl, Barbara Stanwyck.
Love her.
And then there was a good one. They all have weird titles, like they're full sentences.
Yes.
So like I can't remember, but this one was with Ida Lupino.
Lady for a Day.
Yeah, I'll think of it or I'll just look it up. But that one was pretty good. Very like melodramatic, but good. But yeah, but this one that I kept falling asleep in, one of the sort of tropes of a film noir is that it's told in flashback. Mm-hmm. But this one literally had like 4 flashbacks from different characters' point of view. So it kept going further back in time. And we were just looking at each other like, how many flashbacks are we supposed to have?
Yeah.
That was funny. But anyway, I fell asleep. And then I drove home, but I was fine. And then I came home and literally fell asleep for like over 2 hours.
I was
so tired. Yeah.
So all those movies.
It just makes you sleepy. We went for Thai food. Excuse me. And Oliver got me a book. He got me another Ishiguro book because he knows
Which one is it?
Buried Dead or
The Buried Giant?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, yes, I remember that one.
Yeah. So that was very sweet that he thought to do that. Yeah. So that was nice.
And how was that dinner?
Oh, good. It's a Thai place we go to sometimes. It wasn't fancy. It was perfect. It was just, it's calm and yeah. Well, I think we need to find out how the Ren Fair went.
I think we are dying to know.
Oh, yeah. It was very fun. We went as pirates. So I was expecting my friend Jess. Did you guys see the pictures on Instagram I posted?
No.
You sent a picture to us.
You sent a selfie of you in a red and white
Yeah.
striped shirt.
So she said, by the way, I got you a shirt. I'm like a pirate shirt. I'm like, oh, okay. So immediately I thought, all right, I'm going to be a sexy pirate. I'm going to have the chest hairs out.
Yeah.
I'm going to have flouncy.
Like from Seinfeld, the pirate shirt.
I'm going to have the puffy shirt from Seinfeld. I'm like, all right, I have this sort of 3/4 long jacket that might look cool. I might look like a sexy captain with boots and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I get in the car and it's a Smee shirt with red and white stripes on it. And I'm like, you guys are both looking like cool.
Yeah.
I look like the fucking cabin boy.
You're Where's Waldo?
Well, yes.
So they had
the sexy
puffy
shirts.
shirts and you were Smee.
I was Smee.
Fantastic.
That's hilarious.
That's hysterical.
It was really long.
They're like, we pictured what you would look like as a pirate, and this is what we came up with.
It was long.
It was the shirt was kind of long. It went down. So I was like, well, this is kind of long. To be honest, I really had my heart set on being a sexy pirate.
You really did.
But it looks pretty cute.
It was cute.
It was kind of long, so I belted it off. So it kind of looked like I was wearing a skirt almost. It was really weird. But I had black jeans on and these Converse. And then I had like it's not a do-rag, I guess, but a bandana. A bandana, yes, thank you. That I was wearing all day. And I tweeted that I was at Ren Fair. I'm like, I'm at Ren Fair and I'm inebriated. We set up a tent in the parking lot and we're drinking Cutwater and
You didn't take your hooch?
Okay, so
I didn't take the hooch.
so was this 5 hours?
I got home at like 7 o'clock. We left at 9.
No. How long were you in the parking lot? Because remember you said that last year they...
Oh, yeah. No. We were out there for a couple hours, and then we went into the park, and then we came back.
And is that typical that people
And then you came
hang
back
out in the
out.
parking lot first? Or is that just you and your friends?
We were tailgating pretty much.
Just you guys.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Yeah,
And
no.
is that so you can have alcohol free before you go in?
Yes.
Because it's so
Yeah.
expensive inside to
Yeah.
have an alcoholic
Wait.
beverage?
Yeah.
You drank for 2 hours. You
Yeah.
went inside, and then you came back out and drank more?
We came back out after walking through, and then we all passed out. Like Jess, we were laying on the blanket.
Oh, from
we
like
laid
being in
out.
the hot sun?
Yeah, from walking around and just drinking and whatever. So we were sitting down relaxing for a minute. She passed out. I got up and laid in the back of the car, like in the back of the.
Well,
her
wait, where was she
CRV.
passed out?
She just out like on the ground.
From being tired from
On
like
the
the
ground?
sun?
Yeah, we had a
In
blanket.
the parking lot?
We had a blanket laid out.
Was
in a
there
tent.
grass?
Yeah, it was grass. It
wasn't like
Like
concrete.
a concrete parking lot. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
It's
was
more like
okay.
naturey.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's like
and you had a
fieldless.
tent.
Yeah, we had like a, one of those. It's a tent, but not.
You
like
guys did like
Okay.
a mini camp day.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It
yeah.
was like, you know how people, this is a weird analogy, but like they get those hotel rooms for a few hours
Mm-hmm.
just to have sex and then they
Yeah.
don't stay the night. That was what you guys did, but like camping.
They were cosplaying camping.
Yeah.
sounds like.
pretty much.
It was
pretty
like, let's
much.
camp, but just for a few hours.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all right, so and then when you guys woke up, you left.
We basically got up and we're like, we should just go at this point.
Well, what did you do inside?
We walked around. We played. I threw like javelins and axes.
Yeah,
And, was there one more thing we did?
bow and arrows.
Did you eat
No
a
bow
weird
and arrows,
food, like a
fish and
turkey on
chips.
a...
No, I didn't do that. I don't like getting food on my fingers. I got fish and chips. It was really good.
Oh my
I
God,
like
this,
Oily.
fish and
the
chips.
life of people that don't have children is so fascinating. Like, just not having to take supplies and think
Right.
about the food, the snacks you have to pack.
Right.
Going and just being like, let's fall asleep again. Like,
wild.
because we feel like it.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like getting food on my hands. Like,
Well, I never. I don't.
but I mean,
it's
like,
weird.
all that kind of stuff. I love, P.S., I love this. It's not about me sort of making fun of you. It's about like, when you don't have kids, like all of these things you can just enjoy and
the
indulge.
freedom,
But
yeah.
like, I remember before I had kids, I didn't like to pick up dog poop.
Right.
I was horrified by it.
Really?
I was like, ugh, like picking it up. And then I would be like, oh, I've picked up so much human shit with
Yeah.
my bare hands now.
You have
I mean, they would they used to throw it out of their,
what?
they would,
This is not. I don't think
you
this
had
is
one.
typical.
You
I
had one. So they would wake up, right? Before we would wake up really early. And this was when they were, they could stand up in their cribs,
Okay.
but they couldn't climb out yet.
All right.
They would take off their diapers if they were dirty, pick up the shit and just throw it around the room. And one time they like smeared it all over themselves.
Jesus Christ, Chris.
Yeah. I went in, it was under their nails.
Oh my God, no, I can't.
On their faces.
No, Mm-mm. We're done. We're done. I can't.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll stop.
Oh God.
That was only once.
That's gross.
We should probably get to
We
today's
should.
topic.
If we have time later, we can talk about the drinks, but we might not have time today.
Oh, we were watching. I told Jimmy we have to catch up last night, so we started watching episode 3.
Yes.
and he fell asleep.
What the fuck, Jimmy?
I was so pissed.
Jimmy. Then, so when he does that, do you stop it or do
Yeah.
you?
I wasn't really pissed, by the way.
I'm mad at him.
I just wanted to catch up.
Well, Jimmy got hit by a train of exhaustion.
Yes.
And you know what that reminds me of?
Today's topic?
Yes, guys, we're going to talk about how to survive being hit by a train.
Whoa.
Things are going to get kind of crazy
Okay,
up in our business.
There was some train stuff in these noirs.
Oh.
In the one with Barbara Stanwyck. There's a train crash.
I mean, I am imagining Barbara Stanwyck got hit by a lot of trains.
Yeah.
Or was adjacent to a
Or
lot of
caused
trains.
a lot of train crashes.
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
She was a real dish.
She was.
Love her. All right. So I was confused because I was like, train. Did we do hit by a train? But no, we did runaway train.
Runaway train. Yes.
So this is going to be all new for us and our listeners.
Awesome.
Do you guys think people get hit by trains a lot?
No.
Guess what?
What?
Every 3 hours.
What?
or person
Wait, what?
or vehicle is hit by a train in the United States.
How is that even possible?
It's constant.
How many people are moseying down tracks that think are abandoned, just contemplating their lives, getting
Or do they get
rear-ended?
derailed? Or
Well, think about it. It's also subways are counted as trains
okay,
in
but
this
still.
scenario. So every 3 hours, a person or vehicle, okay?
All right.
Okay, so many of these are preventable.
I would think.
And you know what? That's what I'm going to teach you all about on this episode. I think I'm going to.
Sounds good.
We'll see at the end if I did, okay? So let's get into some facty facts. Railroad tracks are private property, okay? So walking on the tracks, mate,
Walking on the tracks, mate.
might seem like fun. Might seem like fun. May seem like fun. I don't know which is right. You decide. It's actually very dangerous, dum-dums.
Yeah.
Okay? It's also illegal.
It's trespassing.
Yeah, don't do it. God, I did it so much.
Did you?
Oh my God, we walked on the tracks to other towns.
Were the trains not working?
I guess we just didn't get hit, thank God.
What? You walked on the tracks, not across the tracks. You walked on the tracks.
Yeah, we were like those kids in the movie. Stand By Me. We were Stand By Me kids.
And
girls.
Were there ever any close calls? Did you hear the train ever?
I think we probably heard the train.
And you just get off.
I don't remember any close calls.
All right. Jeez. Okay.
Dumb idiots. God, we were dumb. I'm glad my kids aren't as stupid as I was. Okay. All train tracks are private property, so you can get killed. And then you get in trouble for after. Your family probably gets fined. Okay.
Sorry.
A train can pass at any time. Okay? They don't travel at fixed times. And
Oh, they don't?
And schedules for passenger trains often change.
Oh.
I know that just traveling in Europe, and we're trying to get a train, going somewhere else, and then it's like, oh, now it's not going at this time, it's going at this other time.
Okay.
And sitting in train stations for hours in like Italy, and cigarette smokes everywhere, and the sun's beating on you, and your kids are like, well, why can't I get a candy bar out of the machine?
You're like, because the train could leave at any minute.
Yes.
Can't get off.
Stop talking. That's the kind of mom I am.
There you go.
Don't even say words.
Right.
Happy Mother's Day. Your face is full of wrinkles. So even if you've never seen a train on the tracks you're crossing, always expect a train. Always, guys.
Yeah.
Always. Okay.
Never not train.
Oh, that should be the podcast for the band Train.
Yes.
Never Not Train. And you know what? I'm not going to say anything bad about that band because I know we made fun of them on that episode and we got letters.
We did?
People were like, I like Train. And I was like, okay, you can like Train. It's fine.
Isn't that funny that people feel like they have to say, like, what are you accomplishing by doing that?
They're just like, stop making fun of the band I like. I don't like it.
It's so, okay. Now, guess what I'm going to do now?
Make fun of Train?
Yes.
Drops of Jupiter.
Yeah, it's that terrible song, right?
Yeah. In my head. Something like that. Okay. It takes the average freight train traveling at 55 miles per hour more than a mile to stop.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What?
If you think that a train can see you, Danielle, and stop in time, think again. It can't.
Why does it take a mile to stop?
Because they're just so big, right? They're so big and they're so heavy.
Okay.
That was me talking, not science.
And I'm assuming they go faster than 55 miles an hour.
I love when I make Karen laugh.
Official voice of science.
No, there's not going to be the official voice
No,
of science
not on
here
this show.
at any time.
We know science.
We do not.
Wait, I'm guessing 55 is probably pretty slow for a train.
I don't actually know their average speed.
Okay.
That's a good question. They can drive 55.
Yeah, right.
And other speeds, probably.
And other speeds.
But they can't stop quickly enough to avoid a collision, okay? Which is why vehicles should never drive around lowered gates or try to beat a train. Don't try to beat a train, okay?
Nothing is that important.
No, nothing.
Unless your wife is literally crowning in the car.
Have the baby. You know what?
Just have the baby in
Have
the
the
car.
baby.
Yeah.
Trains. Oh, wait. Cars are no match for trains, okay? So the average locomotive weighs about 200 tons. That's 400,000 pounds. But can weigh up to 6,000 tons.
Wait, wouldn't 200 tons be 200,000 pounds?
So 200 tons is 400,000 pounds.
Isn't a ton 1,000 pounds?
You do you think I'm also going to bring math to this?
Nope. We don't know science. We don't know math.
Okay. So I can't figure that out. According to my research, it says 200 tons is 400,000 pounds. Okay. But it can weigh up to 6,000 tons. So did you hear that? So the average locomotive weighs 200 tons.
200 tons.
200 tons, but it can weigh up to 6,000. That's so much more. I know that's a lot more. I don't know math.
It's a lot more.
But I know it's a lot more.
It's plus.
So that means the weight ratio of a car to a train is proportionate to that of a soda can to a car.
Great. Love
so
that
So you're
analogy.
in your car, you're a soda can.
Yeah, you're a soda can.
The train is the car.
Right.
Imagine running over an aluminum can with your vehicle.
And if you're a diet soda, you weigh even less.
Exactly. You're like nothing. You don't want to be the case for a locomotive in your car.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't cross the tracks.
Trains always have the right of way.
Yeah.
Always. Even in the presence of emergency vehicles, the police, or pedestrians, they have the right of way every time.
Okay.
So including that crowning lady.
Yes. Right.
Sorry. That includes cars too. Duh. Even if you are a lady, you do not get to go first. It's not ladies first.
Right.
Any questions?
Did someone suggest if you were a lady, you'd get to go?
Well, they always say ladies first.
Okay. Well, there's probably ladies on the train.
All the single ladies.
All the single ladies on the train.
Remember that horrible time when that group of black women got kicked off a train for being too loud?
No.
Yeah, they were like going to, I think they were going to like wine country or something. Probably it was like a train to going to Napa or something. I don't know. But they were just having fun. You know, they were like a group of ladies drinking their wine, having a good time. They got kicked off and they were like, yeah, this is pretty racist.
Wow. No, I don't know that
It was
story.
awful. I don't remember the whole story, but they were like, this is definitely because we're black. And I'm like, yeah, it definitely was. Because there's white ladies drinking wine on trains all the time.
I'm sure.
Being hella loud. I'm sorry
sure.
I said hella. That was stupid. Edit that out, Garen. I don't want anyone to know I ever said that.
You're just channeling your inner Gwen Stefani.
You know, she and I,
It's like that.
thick as thieves. Trains are bigger than tracks.
I was thinking about her today. Wait a second. Because one of her songs came on.
Yeah.
One
One of her great songs.
A No Doubt song. And by the way, I say this to myself every time, and I don't know that anyone will else relate to this, but every time I hear the words No Doubt, I think that sounds like a band that would have been on Star Search. It's such a dumb name. And every time I hear it, I think, and No Doubt gets 3.5 stars every single time. But anyway, what I was thinking was, did she at some point switch to wigs? Because bleaching your hair for that long, I mean, obviously your hair grows, so it's new hair you're bleaching. But like, she hasn't not bleached her hair for like 30 years.
Yes.
That's got to ruin your hair, right?
It's got to be wigs. I mean, she's our age. It's wigs.
You think it's wigs?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think it's wigs.
Okay.
Because I don't think her hair was always pretty short, like shoulder length.
Then it became super long and thick.
And then it became like, how super long and thick does your hair become when you're in your 50s? It don't.
Well, mine is, but I mean, it doesn't. It never wasn't though.
That never
so
wasn't.
It didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't believe it's her hair.
At least extensions.
It might be real hair extensions.
Yeah.
But that still would be. I mean, I don't know. They have access to different, things than we do.
I'm just thinking that period where I think she wore it in a tight ponytail for a while, but I guess you could get a wig to do that too.
Yeah. Because it could be it's her real hair. That I would bet that would be extensions onto like her real hair.
But then that means that would mean she's been bleaching her hair for that long. I guess I don't know. It just seems like it would be frizzy and. But yeah, they have rich people things.
They do have. It's a different life.
All right, so trains.
People may think they can stand alongside tracks and be safe from a train, Danielle.
Yeah.
But guess what? Trains are wider than tracks.
Yeah, no shit.
I guess this is information some people don't have. So just if they don't know this, I'm going to let them know that a train can extend 3 or more feet on either side of the steel rail.
Well, yeah, it's not a wall going down the...
The safe zone for pedestrians is well beyond 3 feet on either side. And when vehicles are stopped at a designated crossing, they should remain 15 feet or more from a rail.
Yeah.
Don't pull right up to that rail.
Right.
Trains travel in both directions. right?
Yes.
So tracks aren't one way. So even if you've seen a train traveling east, a train could travel west on the very same track. Keep in mind that trains can both push and pull rail cars. So the location of a locomotive isn't always an indicator of which direction the train is traveling.
It can just go backward.
Here's something too. Guess what?
What?
Trains can sneak up on you.
Oh.
Yep. An optical illusion makes it hard to determine both the train's distance from you and its speed. At the same time, trains are quieter than ever, so just because you don't hear that clackety-clack doesn't mean a train is far away.
Now, why would they do that?
Maybe it has to do with what they're powering trains with now, like...
Yeah, but I meant yes, I'm sure that's it, but they should add how they had to add to, was it Prius or...
To make them not as quiet?
Yeah.
Put like
an
how cats wear a collar so the birds can hear them?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. But they're always closer and moving faster than you think.
Wait, you put a bell on a cat to protect birds?
I don't, but people do that.
That's where that comes from?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, got it.
Because cats be loving to kill birds.
Why do cows wear bells?
Maybe so that you can hear them coming so they don't stomp you to death.
Okay.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, so watch out for those sneaky trains. This seems pretty obvious. Designated crossings are the only safe place to cross.
Right.
And the only legal place.
Right.
Okay. Only do this at the designated pedestrian or roadway crossings. Obey all warning signs and signals, right?
Right.
Don't be a dummy. All right. Trespassing and grade crossing collisions are the biggest cause of rail-related fatalities. Okay.
Grade crossing?
I'm going to tell you. Okay, according to data from the Federal Railroad Administration, 9 out of 10 rail-related fatalities involve grade crossing. This is where a road and a railroad cross, or 2 railroad crosses.
Okay.
2 railroads cross. So it's just where the road meets where the road meets the rail. Collisions or incidents. This is where 9 out of 10 collisions or incidents with trespassers occur. So you just got to pay extra attention at these places, okay?
Okay.
Don't be an idiot. Highway rail deaths are almost completely preventable if these rules are followed.
Uh-huh.
At a railroad crossing, always assume a train is coming and be ready to yield.
Okay.
Never drive around a lowered gate or go past flashing red lights. Never race a train to a crossing. If you tie, you lose.
Oh, dang.
Never drive onto a crossing unless there is room to get off the other side. Also, watch for a second train when you cross multiple tracks.
Right.
Cross only at designated crossings. I keep saying it. Stay off bridges and out of tunnels.
Oh,
you don't want to be the bridge and tunnel crowd.
No, you certainly don't.
If your car stalls on a crossing, get out immediately.
Yes.
And call the police for help. Just like that song, Teen Angel.
That's what Teen Angel is about?
Well, yeah, he pulls her out of the car.
Just in time.
But she goes running back.
Why?
His class ring.
Oh, for God's sake, it's so dark.
She wanted his ring because she loved him so much. And then the car smashes.
Oh, my God.
She is killed.
That relationship was going to end in 6 months anyway.
I know. If only she knew that. He was going to break up with her
That's
for a
what
different
Teen
cheerleader.
Angel's about.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Almost half of all crashes at railroad crossings happen at crossings that do not have automatic gates and flashing lights. So if they don't and you come up, just
Why wouldn't they?
Maybe it's in like rural areas or, don't have the things, or they're broken.
Infrastructure.
Exactly. Infrastructure. Okay, one last time I'm going to say, when a car and a train collide, the train wins every time.
Yeah.
Your soda can, okay? Yeah. Now, here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to tell you mini stories.
Okay.
And in each mini story, I think we're going to learn a little how to survive lesson.
Love it.
Florida, 2018. A woman in Sebring was walking along the tracks at 5:30 a.m.
Oh, my God.
What's she doing?
Yeah.
And hit by a passing train that she had not seen coming. Get this, she's still conscious after and capable of calling for paramedics.
What?
Yeah, I know, to tell them she was injured. At almost exactly the same time, another phone call came into emergency services. It was the train crew reporting that they had hit someone on the tracks. The deputy and emergency personnel had to walk through groves to find a way to access the tracks. They used off-road vehicles to get to the woman, who was conscious when she was found.
Unbelievable.
Guys, 5:30 in the morning is not a time to be walking on train tracks. So let's not do that.
Do we know how she ended up?
We know she'd survived. Here is somebody else who got hit by a train in 2013. This is a good lesson here. He was struck by, Daryl Jacob was struck by a train traveling at a speed of 110 miles per hour, but he survived with just scratches and fractured bones, okay? He was walking along US 12 east of Michigan City on Friday, not this past Friday. No. He was hit by an Amtrak train. Incredibly, he was able to sit up and speak to police after the accident, although he can't remember it.
Ooh.
All right?
That's probably better.
His headphones prevented him from hearing the approaching train.
I was thinking about that.
Until it was too late. He was casually walking on the tracks.
Who does that?
Listening to music. When the screaming mass of speeding metal smacked straight into him, it threw him like a toy over 6 meters. That's 20 feet, guys. And the force launched the shoes off his body.
Whoa.
They landed 150 feet away. But he didn't remember it. He had a few broken bones and was perfectly fine.
Wow.
So headphones, guys, all of you walking around with your AirPods, earbuds, whatever they're called. I never get things right. All right, so this happened in Poland. This is nuts. There's a video and I saw it. So this is in 2015. This was caught on CCTV in Opel, Poland. A man was struck by a train in November 2015. I know I already said the year. The video is shocking. The man's approaching the train tracks on his bicycle at the exact moment that a speeding train comes seemingly out of nowhere. The cyclist runs right into the moving train.
Wait, he's heading toward it, or
he's like heading towards the tracks right as the moment the train comes.
He's about to cross the tracks.
Yeah.
And, okay.
Yes. So
Jesus.
The footage shows the man instantly launched from his bicycle with ferocious speed. He survived the accident. Here's the thing. Guess what he does? He goes around the red the arm that says don't cross.
Right.
So I'm like, don't go around. And there's
you're
cars
not supposed to go around.
There's stopped cars. Right. He goes around the cars and around the red warning thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not supposed to go. I mean, I'm glad he survived, but I'm also like, dummy, don't do that.
So you see him fly, is it E.T. style where he's still on the bicycle as he's flying? Or does he fly off the bicycle
bike goes
immediately?
one way and he flies into the air and then he lands on the ground and just doesn't move.
Whoa.
And then someone gets out of their car and walks over and then the video stops. But they show it from both sides. Like, they have cameras on like both. They have two different views of him and it's really alarming.
Did he survive?
He survived. Everyone I'm telling you about survived. But again, don't cross.
Yeah.
Don't go around on your bike and go, I don't have to wait.
Jesus.
Guys, you're not special.
Right. You're not.
If you can learn anything from our podcast, it's that you are not special.
Right. You're going to die too. Or get seriously injured. I'm sure these people are seriously injured.
Yeah. This one is like really, also this is on video and I don't recommend you watch it.
Okay.
But it is miraculous. It is probably the most miraculous one of all of them, okay? This is also caught on CCTV in Melbourne, Australia. This is in 2009. So as the train's approaching, a mom is with her baby in its pram. They call it a pram because it's Australia.
Yeah.
And they don't look like they're too close to the tracks. They're just standing. She's standing sideways, and then she turns to kind of see, like, look at the time, I think, right?
Okay.
And she lets go of the handles to, like, pull her pants up a little bit. Her pants are falling, like the mom's pants, for a second while she's, like, turning to talk to someone else. And the stroller just rolls away so fast into... It's a subway, so it's like a big drop, right?
Oh no.
Into it, and then right at that moment, the train comes in, and the baby in the stroller get struck and go along the metal tracks for 98 feet. It's just like stroller slam, and you're just like, it's so shocking to see because you're like, well, dead, and the mother's like, you just see it, you don't hear any of it. So it comes to a halt. The mom is running up. People are running up. The baby is fine. Only gets a bump on the head.
How?
I don't know. I mean, I think the stroller it's in protected it because it just fell in. It gets hit, and so it just got a bump on its head. It's so upsetting to watch that I was like, oh my God. Even though I know it's going to be fine because I wouldn't have watched it.
Right.
But I was like, oh my God, that was really...
Do you see the mother get the baby back?
No.
Okay.
But it's also like you feel for that woman so much because you realize like that could have been any one of us.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything wrong. Like, so I don't want to be the lesson to me isn't like, well, keep an eye more, because it's like we all are always kind of on top of our kids and still things can happen. But that's the thing that's so like shocking.
I wonder why it rolled.
Who knows?
Maybe just the vibration of the train coming
maybe because it's not like it's sloping down.
Right, it's a platform.
It's a platform, and so it shouldn't have rolled at all.
Oh, that poor thing.
All right, here's another child one. He survives. Elijah Anderson was playing outside his Northwest Atlanta home on November 5th when his dog Poochie ran off. So he's chasing after his Jack Russell Terrier. And like most 4-year-olds, he's focused on finding his dog. Didn't see a train coming. This train is traveling at 30 miles per hour, and it hit Elijah, throwing him from the tracks.
Oh, my God.
And Poochie, not hurt. He's rushed to the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta in critical condition. He was treated for a concussion, received several stitches in his head, but within 24 hours, his condition was upgraded to good. And 2 days later, Elijah was back home, begging his mom to let him go outside with Poochie.
Oh, no. You're never going outside with Poochie.
No, fuck that dog. Elijah's 13-year-old sister...
Maybe put a fence on the property.
Yeah,
how about
perhaps.
that?
Maybe let's euthanize Poochie. Elijah's 13-year-old sister was babysitting the twins when the accident occurred, according to the police report. So I bet she felt pretty good.
Do they consider Poochie and the little boy twins? Or the little boy had a twin?
I think he had a twin.
Okay.
But I think the lesson there is just don't have a Jack Russell Terrier. That's my opinion.
Jeez Louise.
Sorry to the people who love Jack Russell Terriers.
Or maybe don't have a backyard that leads to train tracks, active train tracks.
I mean, it could have also, yes. I don't know if there's a lesson there. Kids get hurt.
Yeah.
Kids are hard to keep track of if you have twins.
That is so scary.
But luckily, he's fine.
All right. Well, those were very good stories.
Thank you.
Just be careful. Just don't think you're a superhero. You're just a regular person and you're going to get yourself smashed.
You are not special.
You are not special.
That's what we want you to learn.
That's what we want you to remember.
You are not special. I know your parents have been telling you that your whole life.
Yeah, but they're wrong.
They're wrong. You didn't deserve that trophy.
And getting hit by a train is not going to give you train powers.
Right. Exactly.
You are not in the Marvel universe.
You're not going to go
be Train Man.
Right. And we'll be right back after this.
Fall is here, and if you want to sleep in the coziest bed imaginable, you have to start with Boll & Branch's best-selling 100% organic cotton sheets. You'll spend every night wrapped in buttery, breathable softness and feel your sheets get even softer with every wash. Discover the difference with Boll & Branch's 30-night guarantee. Plus, get 15% off and free shipping on your first set of sheets. Visit bollandbranch.com and use code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Canva presents your work horoscope for this week. Deadlines are in retrograde, which we all know can bring some intense energy. Our advice: fend off this forecast with Canva. Like Canva whiteboards to counter creative blocks, and Canva docs for clarity in communications. If you have any sales deals coming through, results will be in your favor with Canva presentations, manifesting many wins for you. It's a great week to love your work at canva.com.
Welcome back, Kristine. How was your break?
It was so inspiring.
I turned into a robot during that break.
I didn't know you could do that on a break.
An old-timey robot.
Are you from Hays Code?
I'm from Hays Code era.
So
robot.
You can smoke and drink and have sex.
The thing I forgot to mention was that the guy who runs, there's two guys who, like, one is like an AMC host.
Yes.
And he's great. And then the other guy who runs it, like, he'll have someone on. He did do an interview with one person who was in one of the movies.
Yeah.
And he talks as if everyone in the audience knows exactly who all of these people are, and you should, like, they're as if they're current stars, and you should know all these, Basil Heathcliff. You're
It's all
supposed to know who
inside
that is.
baseball.
And he's just talking,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't follow a fucking word this guy is saying.
Yes.
He didn't even introduce what part the guy was in the movie. I mean, you figure it out eventually. He says
Yes.
like he was the kid, but it was just like it's like interviewing 101. Like, bring us all up to speed, dude.
How many people in the audience do you think do know all of that though? Because that's their whole.
My friend Jim. That's it.
Okay.
Like, I don't know that everyone would know every single thing. I mean, maybe there's a handful. Maybe there's a handful of the gray hairs.
25%.
Oh, I think that's
10%.
yeah. I think these are all old people who enjoy film noir. I don't think they're like necessarily experts in, they're not all bachelor nerds like my friends. Anyway, on the first half of the show, are we ready to get into it? We're ready to get into it, right?
Chomping. No, you know what I think? It's champing. But chomping sounds
It got perverted into chomping, but for some reason it's champing.
perverted.
Perverted? Is that what I meant to say?
Let's get perverted.
Let's get perverted in here. Let's get it
perverted
started.
in here.
Let's get perverted in here.
One of my favorite bands.
Impossible.
We probably talked about the SNL sketch.
Yeah. Is it the one with Lizzo?
Yes, where they're coming up with the lyrics
Yeah.
to all the Black Eyed Peas songs. It makes me just happy. It's just so stupid and funny. But do you think Black Eyed Peas are anyone's favorite band? I think everyone tolerates them.
We're going to hear from somebody who's...
They can't be.
What if it's the same person who likes Train so much?
Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah. Okay.
I feel bad. We got to bring our guest in.
Yeah, I know. On the first half of the show, we talked about how to survive getting hit by a train. And now we're going to learn about how to survive getting kicked out of your house with DeAnne Smith. Hi, DeAnne.
Hi,
How are you?
You already said my name. I was going to say it's me, Basil Heathcliff.
It's you, exactly. It was just off the top of my head.
That was the perfect name.
Yeah, there's a lot of Veronica Statuary or something. I don't know. They're all fake names. I guess they all had fake names then.
Veronica Statuary.
I don't know. Statuary. I think I made up a word. DeAnne is a comic.
That's right.
They just did Netflix is a Joke.
I did, yeah.
Nicely
What's your
done.
venue?
Oh, I was at the UCB.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh,
UCB on
Cool.
Franklin, yeah.
Okay.
Great
all right.
venue.
And then I did like a giant show with Hannah Gadsby kind of presenting a bunch of other artists. So it was just a short set at the Ace Hotel.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Fun.
So you can see DeAnne Smith
Hi, everyone.
in lots of places, but if you go to DeAnneSmith.com,
Yeah,
you
good
can
luck
find out
to
your
you.
dates.
If I've updated it, good luck to you.
You don't even know if you've updated it.
Probably.
Are you on Instagram?
No, I will. But yeah, also I'm on Instagram, DeAnne
okay.
_Smith. If you Google DeAnne Smith, I'm the one you'll find.
Okay.
To the woe of the handful of other DeAnne
Oh,
Smiths.
is there's an E in DeAnne?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're the most famous one.
I bet you are.
Unfortunately for them, yeah. But I'm friends with a few of them now. I was joke married to a DeAnne Smith on
Oh,
Facebook.
that's hysterical.
Back in 2007 or something.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's hilarious.
There's other Danielle Koenigs, which confused the hell out of my father because he didn't realize he Googled me. He doesn't understand how computers work. And he said, yeah, I was on your page. And I'm like, my page? Yeah, I saw these pictures of someone else and I didn't understand who that was. And I was like, Dad, you Googled my name and you found another Danielle Koenig.
Oh,
and he was
that's so
like,
cute.
what? Yeah. I go, yeah, there's like some blonde young Danielle Koenig out there. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, he just wrote my name in the bar.
I was on your page.
I was like,
So
I don't have a
sweet.
page.
I'm just
I don't
impressed that your
know.
dad Googled you.
Well, he didn't know he did. I mean,
He accidentally
to be fair,
did.
he just typed my name. He probably thought he was sending me an email.
He probably thought he was texting you.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to text, but he probably thought he was emailing me. I mean,
That's really
Yeah,
funny.
it's gone to the point where whatever.
That's another How to Survive episode.
Yes, how to survive being
Honestly,
in the
though,
sandwich
it's
generation.
confusing. You can see how it's confusing.
You're very sweet. You're
It
very.
is.
Do
It
you have
is.
elderly? You're much younger.
No, listen, both my parents are dead, so you be grateful that your
God,
dad's
are they?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, but the computers, they're hard things. They didn't, okay,
Yeah.
so my mom died before my dad. My dad didn't have an email address or anything, so every once in a while he would send me emails after my mom was dead through her email
Oh,
account.
creepy.
Oh my
But then check
God.
this out. then he put the whole message in the subject line. Hang on.
Yes.
In all caps. So
Yes.
it was horrifying because it was like the first initial reaction, like, you know, you see your mom's name in the inbox and you're like, Mom? And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. No, that's not happening anymore. But it felt like a desperate missive from beyond. Because
yelling.
It would be just all in the subject line. Hi, Dee. Hi, Dee. How's it going? Things are okay here.
Does it even all fit in the subject line?
It can, yeah.
You can fit a lot in a subject. Like I've accidentally copy pasted, you know, something into an email, but it went into the subject line for some reason. And you can do like whole story.
That's true.
Like,
I have done that. Yeah. That's amazing.
God.
How old was your dad when this was happening?
Only like late 70s.
Oh man,
That's something should be young.
You should talk about that on stage because that is hilarious.
That is kind of funny. Yeah,
that is so funny.
Just like,
oh my God,
message from beyond, but it's all screamed at you.
Yeah,
I mean, it had that feeling.
Yes,
right, the subject line.
There's something I need to tell you.
Oh my God, he's leaning on his keyboard, just like, what's happening now? Yeah. I haven't changed my parents. My mother died over a year ago, and I haven't changed in my cell phone. Their home number is under my mom's name, so I still have that she's calling me, but I don't want to change it, I guess. So I just,
It's nice to see her pop up on your phone.
Yeah. From the dead. From the dead. Calling at me to nag me about something. So let's get into your story.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
I just jump in?
Jump in. When did this happen? Where was it? All that kind of stuff.
The year is 2000.
Okay.
George W. Bush has recently stolen the state of Florida.
Yes. Remember how mad we were about that?
I mean, we were mad at the time.
We were so naive.
It just seems like fun frat boy pranks at this point, doesn't it?
It's locker room talk.
That's just
silly.
Bush being Bush. Give him the state of Florida. Good times.
Who cares?
I'm in my early 20s. I'm disillusioned with the state of the United States of America. It's not a democracy. So I decided to leave. I land in Mexico with a girlfriend of mine. We land in San Cristobal, Mexico, which is in the south, Chiapas. Chiapas borders Guatemala.
Is this Yucatan or is it more south-south?
It's a little west of, like Yucatan is kind of...
Yes.
Is that where Acapulco is?
It's like Cancun down to Tulum.
Cancun, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. So it's like, I think it borders that, but it's like
further south.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're in actual Mexico, where this is not a border town at this point.
No, we're in it, and we'll get into a little more, or we could get into it now. San Cristobal. So we're there in the year 2000. In 1994, it's famous for an uprising in 1994. The Zapatista army got control of San Cristobal and I think some other little neighboring towns for about 12 days. So this was in protest of the enactment of NAFTA in 1994. Yep. So it was a very interesting place. I think it was at that time categorized as like a low-level war zone or however they call it, because there was a lot of conflict between the indigenous people and the paramilitary and the Mexican government. And it's kind of exciting that this indigenous army of I think maybe 3,000 held this town for 12 days against like 30,000, 60,000, I don't know, that's disputed numbers of like, anyway, government army. So it's like there's a fair amount of tension in town.
This is where you decided I'm going to get away from it all. Well, I'm going to find a better,
that's a really good point. Okay, yes, no, now we need to go sideways into my codependency, and I'll do anything for girls. So I
was this a girlfriend?
Yeah. So I had previously moved to Mexico to basically just teach English and bum around and kind of escape the responsibilities of potentially being in your 20s. And my American girlfriend, I was like, I'm already in Mexico. Just get to Mexico anywhere, and I'll go where you go.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So she was working for an NGO, and there were a lot of like foreigners working for NGOs in Chiapas and in San Cristobal at that time. So then we met up down there.
Okay.
The tension, I guess, kind of comes into play as well because it was difficult for us to find a place to rent. A lot of people, they were called like coletos, kind of the non-indigenous people that lived there, and they're hostile to the indigenous cause, and so they didn't want to rent to a lot of foreigners because they assumed, and they were correct, that many of us were working for NGOs and kind of sympathetic to this.
Gotcha.
And, so it was difficult to find a place, and we ended up renting a little spot behind a school. So there was like a little English school, and behind there was this courtyard. Things were set up there around a courtyard. So we had like a little room, and then we'd go outside, and then you go to the other little room of your kitchen, and then back into the courtyard. You know, the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
So we rented back there from this school. I was working at a different school. She was working at that one. I mean, what we were making an hour was ridiculous. Like, I can't remember what we paid in rent, but everything was quite like low. You know, it was $2,000. It's also South Mexico. Everything was kind of cheap, but so were our wages when we lived there. Like, I think we were making, you know, maybe 2 pesos an hour or 20 pesos an hour, which would be like $2.
Wow.
Like, I had smart ass friends in the US being like, should I just send you like $20 a week and you can quit your job?
Yeah, right.
Like, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But
it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so it was kind of working. So we're living behind that school. I was hanging out for a few months, you know, teaching English. We had a little chicken back there, which was adorable. We ended up like getting a little stray kitten along the way, and that was one of those kind of, you know, when disparate animals are friends sort of thing.
Yeah.
The word isn't disparate. This is the language of Basil Heathcliff over here. When disparate animals are friends.
I think that makes
Unlikely
sense, actually.
friendships
Yes.
is what they say.
What you don't know is that this is going to be your alter ego that you develop into a character, and now you're going to have a show at UCB.
Yeah,
actually, I can see it all coming together. It's so funny. Yeah, so the kitten used to kind of like stalk the chicken, and then the chicken would just turn her head, and the kitten would be like, yikes, and jump and run away. So by the time she grew up into a cat, she was kind of still afraid of this chicken, and they would just like sun themselves in the yard. It was adorable.
my God, that's so cute.
I want
sweet.
to watch that TikTok.
It was very sweet. So we were living there for a few months, no incidents, everything's going great, and then a few months in, the couple that owned the school and that rented us the place came back, and they really needed to talk to us about something. And so we're having this whole conversation in Spanish, and I've only been there a few months, so my Spanish is like somewhat conversational, but not great, you know. And they're going on, we can't have you here anymore. You leave garbage in the street. You have loud parties.
Why were you guys doing that?
Yeah, I know. We were real assholes. We weren't doing any of that, and it was
Yeah.
taking me a really long time to understand what they were talking about. And we had a conversation for probably an hour because I kept going, we don't do those things. I don't know what you're talking about, until finally it came back. Well, we can't have someone with your lifestyle here at the
They
school.
don't like chickens
right?
and cats.
They don't
living
like chickens,
together.
chickens and cats.
Gotcha.
The unholy pairing of chickens and cats. This is also, like a lot of Mexico, a very Catholic place.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I saw stuff, you know, there was I can't remember the name of the church, but a very famous church in town that people would have pilgrimages to, and people would have pilgrimages like on their knees to this church. Like you do the last, you know, 200 steps or whatever on your knees because you love.
Because life isn't hard
Yeah,
enough.
God and Jesus
Yes.
so much. So, you know, it was a very like religious place, and I think
Yeah.
that's probably why it took them so long to even come around to saying the real reason why we couldn't be there, which also is so insulting. Like, I think they had mistaken us for sisters or something, which is so gross.
I was going to say, why did it take so long for them to say anything?
I think it's
so
just-
they thought you were sisters initially.
I think so, yeah. I
Or
mean,
like
it's-
just friends.
It's 2000. It's not
Yeah.
on people's radar necessarily,
Gotcha.
you know. But that's happened to me before in life, and it is insulting. It's like, yeah, I hold hands and kiss my sister on the neck. Like, come on, this is gross.
We're really. You should want us out if we're sisters
Yeah.
and doing
Yes.
this.
Also, like, the way I dress and present myself, I'm really trying to be clocked as a queer person. Like,
Right.
how dumb like, you think I'm trying to be straight and this is as good as I can do it? Like, just the most
really bad at
absolutely
it.
failed straight woman. Like, I've seen what they're supposed to look like.
You are not doing it. I mean,
My hair keeps getting cut short. I just wake up.
I'm going to the wrong barber.
I meant to get high heels, so they put me in these boots. Obviously, anybody could look like whatever, but I always found that quite annoying. So we finally got around to it. So we went. So they were like, "You have to be out of here in a week," which was kind of impossible.
Wow.
And we said, "Listen, we don't want to be somewhere you don't want us.
Yeah.
We'll do our best, you know?
Right.
So in that week, we did look around. It was difficult because we were just two foreigners without, you know, a lot of local contacts or anything. We did end up kind of interviewing for a room with these two young Mexican girls. And this was really funny. So we were chatting to them. You know, I'm doing my best in Spanish to kind of communicate what's going on. And you guys know, like, gato is the word for cat.
Yes.
And in Spanish, there's masculine, feminine. So I thought I was being clever, and I kept saying, and we have a little gata. So it's you're meeting us today, but we also have a little gata. We need to live with our gata. We're really attached to her. We would hate to have to give her up. Do you already know what the slang is?
I don't know what it means. All I know is that gato is not one of those things. It's a noun. It's not one of those things you change.
You definitely don't need to change
it if
the
it's a
sex,
male or
like,
female.
if you're talking about like a little girl cat.
Right.
So I kept going. You know, we have this little gata. Obviously, we would love to move with her. She's small. She's really sweet. She's really attached to me. She's not really going to cause you guys any problems, but she'd live in the room with us, our little gata. And it's like a sitcom moment that I don't recognize until later, where they're like increasingly horrified that I keep talking about this. And I don't know, not even what misunderstanding we're having a misunderstanding at all. I'm just like, maybe they don't like pets or what's going on.
Sure.
Somehow, thank God, maybe, I don't know what I had said to make them break it, and they were like, oh wait, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, like a little cat. Gata, I found out in this moment, is like really derogatory slang for like a personal servant. Like a
She's really attached to me.
Yeah. We live together, and you know, I'd hate to have to give her up.
You won't even know she's here.
No, she's really quiet.
She'll stay under the couch.
I take care of everything. I mean, it was probably when I got to like, and her litter box, you know, probably when I got to that part. You won't even smell her poop. Don't worry about it.
So were the girls laughing when they figured it out?
Eventually, but there were some horrifying moments for them because, you know, we're just two white people, like, and that's what a lot of Americans do in Mexico. They go there because the economy is so different. They have money. They're getting, you know,
they have their gatas.
Yeah, they have their gatas.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
That was interesting. So we interviewed there, and then we went back to our house. We didn't really have a place to live, and then I wish I could remember more of these details. I don't exactly know how this happened, but maybe Mauricio, the guy, he'd probably left a note on our place that said, call me. Because all I know is that we didn't have a phone. I mean, it's 2007.
This is the original house.
Yeah, we're back at the original house behind the school. And we didn't have a phone there. We didn't have a refrigerator there. I mean, it was those kind of times. So I just remember we were outside on the street on like a payphone talking to him. And he was like, you have to leave tonight. Like, it's been a week. You need to be out. And we're like, that's not happening. We don't have a place to go. We're trying our best.
It wasn't working out with the girls.
It didn't exactly work out with the girls.
They didn't want you there.
Yeah, or maybe we were pending, or they were interviewing someone else. I don't remember, but we didn't have a place to go. And then he was really upset by this on the phone. He's like, I'm coming over there. You're getting out of there tonight. Blah blah blah. And we're like, oh, okay, I don't know. So we hung up the phone. We started stressing out. I don't know how we came to this conclusion, but I think we were just feeling hard done by or something. And we're like, if they're kicking us out tonight, we're taking stuff with us. So we went into the classroom and we started stealing chairs. I don't know what we were thinking.
Let's punish the poor Mexican children.
Exactly. But we like
See how they learn without chairs.
Yeah. We had some friends across the street.
So random.
So random. I mean, I'm trying to put myself back in the mind of like a early 20-year-old. And we're like, okay, we started we probably took 4 chairs across the street to where our friends lived. And we're like, hold on to this stuff. Something's going down tonight. We don't know what. But like these assholes will have some less chairs or something. I don't know what we were thinking. Then on our way back, coming back from across the street to our house, we looked at our house. This is one of the most frightening moments I've ever experienced in my life. We look at the house. There's a cop car outside with the lights on, and we're just frozen. Like the adrenaline, it felt like a dream all of a sudden. And I wasn't scared about the chairs, even though we did just kind of commit theft at the school. But we had marijuana in the house.
Oh no!
In the back, we never assumed the cops were coming, so it wouldn't have surprised me if we had like a joint, hanging out by the fire pit or something. We had stuff there, and in 2000 in Mexico, that was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
The one thing we had been told the whole time was like, don't fuck around with drugs. Don't get caught with drugs. The American government doesn't care about you. Like anything can happen to you once kind of the Mexican
authorities. Like that Claire Danes movie.
I don't know that movie.
The Turkish prison.
Where she and they have like a little bit of pot or hash or something, and then they get in these horrible prisons. They get put in these horrible prisons.
This stuff happens like in Bali, Indonesia. And so this was my fear, right?
Sure, of course.
So we're looking at the thing and I'm like, oh my God, this is horrifying. There's a moment where my girlfriend Jody goes, let's not go back. Like we have our clothes, like we don't need to go back. I'm like, our passports
you have to
are in there.
You can't just start new lives.
Yeah. Our passports are in there. I don't know what to do. So we kind of come up with this like silly plan, but we go in. Jody's Spanish is better than mine. So she starts talking to them. So at the house is Mauricio, our landlord, two just random dudes that we don't know that like are changing the lock. And two policemen, but not just regular policemen, like federal police. Like they're called PFP, Policía Federal Preventiva. So like the high up there police.
Yikes.
Like,
are they the ones that they have machine guns?
They might. Like I don't. There were a lot of like armed, uniformed people around there. So there was like the actual,
oh my God,
like military presence, and then like the paramilitary and the cops. I don't remember if they had machine guns. I'd like to think maybe they didn't, or that would have stuck out to me. But so there's these 5 dudes. Jody starts talking to them, and I'm just like, hey, guys, I'm glad you're here. I'll be back. And then I just run back, grab all the marijuana that we have, throw it in a backpack, and just like praying to God that no one's stopping me, nothing's happening. And I just like, hey, I'll be back in a second. Like none of it makes sense. I go back across the street.
Get the chairs?
Just with my friends though. And I'm like,
stack of chairs.
Yeah, on top of the stack of chairs. I'm like, you guys are also hanging on to this weed. Bye. And then I go back. But at this point also, I don't understand what's happening. And I'm in my early 20s. I'm coming from the U.S. I'm relieved in some ways to see the police there now that the drugs are out of the house.
Yes.
Because I'm like,
help is here.
Help is here. What this guy's trying to do is illegal. And my Spanish is, like I said, not great, but I'm stumbling through. And I'm like, I'm so glad you guys are here because we really do need like a mediator because we're happy to leave, but this guy's trying to kick us out. And we, meanwhile, Mauricio's like, where are the chairs? There were chairs over there. What's going on?
Hilarious.
And I pulled a move that I had seen my friend Gretchen do in high school, which was incredible. You guys are, I think, about my age. You might remember. Do you remember like a decoration, let's say in the late 70s, early 80s, a giant wooden spoon and fork on a wall in the kitchen or something?
Yeah.
So Gretchen's family had these decorations. High school, somebody stole the spoon during a big party when her parents weren't home. And her parents come back. There's just a fork on the wall. And they're like, what happened to the spoon? And I've never seen someone lie like that. Like, it was just such a bold strategy. Gretchen's like, what spoon? I don't remember a spoon. Her parents are like, next to the fork, there was a spoon. There's a literal, like, the wallpaper is darker where the spoon has been blocking the light for the last 20 years. And Gretchen's like, I don't remember a spoon.
Unbelievable.
That was it. So that's me with the chairs. I'm like, what chairs? Meanwhile, there's like 4 missing section of chairs. But we don't have time to get into that, right? We're getting kicked out of our house, whatever. So we're there chatting with them for a really long time. These 2 guys are apparently changing the locks, and eventually Jody and I are like, we gotta call our friend Alvaro. We have a friend in town, also an American from Chicago, but he's Colombian. He's a lawyer, and we're like, so finally we're like, listen, we have a lawyer friend. We're gonna call our lawyer friend. That puts some kind of fear in them. Absolutely, they kind of are all like, wait, what? A lawyer? Ugh. And then Alvaro shows up. He's kind of mad at Jody and I, like, I don't think you guys realize like how much danger you're in, which we didn't. We were just ignorant girls really hanging out there. But the other thing going on in this time, part of the tension was there were a lot of kidnappings and kidnappings of white girls especially. A lot of kind of violence and femicide. And we're kind of naive to the fact because I did think cops were helpers then. Yeah. Just the 5 men, 2 women.
Right.
That alone is dangerous, unfortunately. So Alvaro showed up as soon as they realized that he didn't have like Mexican credentials as an attorney, then they were way less scared, and we were back to the original show. And we just were like, we can't go anywhere tonight. And Mauricio was like, well, we're changing the lock. We hung out and kind of stalled and talked to them and tried to figure it out for so long that it then became clear that these two guys trying to change the lock had no other lock. They weren't actually changing the lock. They were just trying to intimidate us.
Oh, that's
But we were
hysterical.
too kind of ignorant and naive to even be intimidated. So we kind
They're
of
just like pantomiming.
yeah.
changing
So we
had
kind
no
of
locks.
we kind of ran them out of that game because we stayed long enough
Right.
and talked and tried
Yes.
to figure things out that eventually, after about 2 hours, they were like,
Yeah, like, how long
we
does it
don't
take to change a
there's
lock?"
there's no lock actually. we gotta get out of here.
hysterical.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And then we also came to understand that the police were just Mauricio's friends, and they were also just trying to intimidate us.
But they were police.
But they were police. Eventually, they left. Mm-hmm. We ended up calling up the girls, the Gata girls, and they took us in. They were like, "Yeah, okay, things are
that's
things are
so
dire."
great.
So they took us in. And that's
You mean that night or
the next day?
The next day,
we
okay.
moved there, and that night our little cat went into heat.
Oh no!
Oh no,
That's
indeed. But she took off, and then we moved.
Yeah.
Oh
And
no!
it was like truly like heartbreaking. Like, so I arrive at this place, and I really, like I said, that Gata and I were quite attached.
Yeah.
So I was really bummed when we moved, and probably about 2 weeks later, and like I said, I'm dressing like a lesbian. I had keys hanging off my belt. This is what was happening in the year 2000, like a janitor or a lesbian. So my keys were always like slightly jingling when I was walking, and the cat came to recognize me that way. So we moved like 5 neighborhoods over, and like 2 weeks later, I'm jingling down the street, and I hear the little cat meow, and I was like, "What? Is it you?" And I look up, and she's walking on this fence. She had found us, or we had found her. And then we got her off that fence.
Unbelievable.
And she was reunited with us. Which was
Oh,
beautiful.
but she didn't come back in a
Yeah.
in a certain
She
way,
was
did she?
for sure pregnant, and then we had some little kittens for a while. But yeah, then we got her taken care of.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so sweet that she found you.
It was really sweet. It was really incredible.
that.
It was an incredible moment.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, guys, thank you.
and
Great story.
go on to find you on Instagram and all that kind of stuff for
come
all your
out.
dates. You'll be
Yeah.
in Canada doing a bunch of dates.
I'm going to be in Vancouver, Victoria, Calgary. Meanwhile, I'm in New York. I'm always doing shows in New York.
That's where you live.
That's where I live.
Right.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that while you were here, you got to do our show.
I really appreciate
That's
it.
so
Yeah.
great.
We're so happy to have
I love
you.
it. And we will be right back with What Did We Learn Today?
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you if people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else? Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
This episode is sponsored by AutoTrader. There's a good chance you're driving right now. Look around. Safely. What do you see? Cars. Lots of them. And guess what? They're probably on AutoTrader. Whether you're into timeless classics or the latest trends. Did somebody say solar-powered, eco-friendly, vegan, leather-wrapped, aromatherapy-scented, disco ball-equipped, self-driving car? If you see it on the road, you can likely find it on AutoTrader. Big cars, small cars, blue cars, new cars, used cars, electric cars, and one day, maybe even flying cars. With millions to choose from, buying a car becomes a whole lot easier. See it, find it, AutoTrader. Find your next car on autotrader.com.
Danielle,
Kristine.
are you ready to learn what we learned today?
So ready?
Kids, maybe don't point out your mom's wrinkles.
Yeah.
Never
maybe
ever.
don't.
Yeah, we don't have to go there. Unlike the Spanish Inquisition, you should always expect a train.
I don't get
I
it.
thought that would be funnier.
That's a Monty Python reference, I believe, which I don't usually get those. 'cause
Sorry, I didn't get it.
I don't have a lot of familiarity with the whole canon.
That's literally the only thing I know.
Yes.
That and the parrot walk. I don't know anything else.
Well,
It's not the parrot walk. It's the parrot sketch and the Ministry of Silly Walks.
See?
okay, well,
That much I know.
we're equal in Monty
The only thing I
Python
really know is
ignorance.
the parrot walk.
The shame I feel right now.
That's okay. I tried to watch it with the kids, and they were like, "I don't like this."
Oliver loved Holy Grail. Loved it. when he was little, but we watched a couple of the other movies, and it's just like, it doesn't really
Some things don't hold up for certain ages. Remember, 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton. Whatever you have reported in pounds, simply divide by 2,000 to get your tons. I tried to not do division.
A ton is 2,000 pounds. That would make sense why it's 400,000. Okay.
When you see her in the spotlight, Gwen Stefani often has a wig or clip-in extensions.
Okay.
Rail tracks can go both ways, like a... Never mind, too easy. Like a Garen. But no, not like a Garen.
He doesn't go 2 ways.
No, he doesn't.
When you said rail tracks after the Gwen Stefani thing, I thought you were talking about like, you know what I was going to say, like the kind of hair. Isn't there something like where it's like called tracks? Yeah.
Oh, okay. You guys probably learned that from Drag Race. In alpine regions, cows are often equipped with a bell throughout the summer season for several months to ensure that farmers can locate their animals on the wide alpine pastures, many areas of which are obstructed from the view.
Awesome.
In terms of cats, the bell can warn potential prey of the cat's approach. Cats eventually learn to walk without ringing the bell, and pet owners are therefore encouraged to regularly change the bell or attach 2 bells on the collar.
Oh, my God.
Attaching a bell on a cat's collar has been shown to reduce the amount of captured birds by 30 to 40%.
Whoa.
Yeah. You know who wants all cats to be killed? Jonathan Franzen. You know what I say to Jonathan Franzen?
Wait.
Your work is overrated.
Why does he want... Oh.
He's a bird enthusiast. He's like obsessive bird enthusiast.
The author?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, but isn't it just nature that cats kill birds?
Well, yes, but also we have too many, like, because of
cats.
us not sort of, yeah.
Right, okay.
Here's one more for you all out there. Broke Down Palace is a 1999 American drama film directed by Jonathan Kaplan and stars Claire Danes, Kate Beckinsale, and Bill Pullman. It deals with 2 American friends imprisoned in Thailand for alleged drug smuggling. Huh. I would have guessed Joaquin Phoenix in this movie for some reason.
There was another
Was there another one?
With the male perspective on this situation.
And it's Joaquin.
It was Vince Vaughn?
Yes, I've seen that one too.
And maybe it is
Boy, I don't know that at all.
And it's another one where they're imprisoned, right? I'm getting them confused. I guess I've seen them both.
I haven't seen either, but I remember when Broke Down Palace came out.
I can say you don't need to see either one of them. Okay. That's what I'm going to say. All
right.
Return to Paradise is that one.
Return to Paradise. Yeah, that one I think is even darker. Yeah. That one made me feel like kind of sick inside.
And it was Joaquin Phoenix. Vince Vaughn, Anne Heche, Joaquin Phoenix.
Wow, that's
remember
a trio.
She died.
I do remember that.
Anne Heche. I feel bad for her. I mean,
because she was mentally ill?
Well, she had really some struggles.
Yeah.
I just wanted a moment of silence for Anne Heche.
When Anne Heche died 3 years ago, you just want...
Well, sometimes you know how you forget?
Yes.
And then you're like, oh yeah, that person died. And I forgot, like I haven't thought about Anne Heche once in 3 years, and then I just remembered and had a moment for her.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay, well, I guess that's it until next time, right?
Did we do a good job?
We did a great job.
Nobody's telling us.
They are.
Are they?
Yeah.
I guess by listening.
Well, yeah, but they send us emails and...
We should read some emails soon.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Next time, we'll try to do that.
Good idea.
Remind us.
Okay.
Garen. And until next time, remain calm.